You guys, out of all the things I practice, all the things that I do on a regular basis that are to my benefit, that are in my best interest, this has to be high up on the list. This is one of my superpowers, and it's being able to learn from anyone. It's being able to extract the positive from an individual that might be looked at or viewed as a wild ass motherfucker. A great example, if you go down to my page, would be my Wes Watson testimonial. I'm getting cooked in the comments section, y'all. I'm getting fucking obliterated. They're like, this guy likes getting called a bitch. This guy has a fucking kink for being called a bitch. This motherfucker's crazy. Wes Watson's a convict. Why would you pay him money? This dude's a scammer. Why would you support this? And it's such a shame because the people are focusing on what might very well be like negative elements of this particular person, right? And they're missing all the gold. That motherfucker has some gold. He has a lot of good things to say that changed my life well before I invested into business coaching or even had the idea. Well before that. Just hearing his message changed my life. A lot of people over the years that are looked at as narcissistic, hey, it might be true, are looked at as people that are very self-glorifying, hey, that might be true. People that are looked at in a negative light but have very powerful messages, people will sleep on them because they are focused on these negative traits. I was talking to someone about David Goggins one time, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, hasn't that guy injured himself a bunch? Doesn't really seem like the way to go. It's not real. I mean, if I follow his advice, am I going to end up like him, all broken to pieces? I'm like, dude, do you know how many lives David Goggins has changed on planet Earth? That one motherfucker has literally changed planet Earth. From his speeches, from his books, from his messages, from his own personal story. Do you know how many people, their life, their trajectory was headed in one direction, and now it's headed in a different one for their benefit, and you're focused on the fact that he's had some injuries, messed up his knees, had some health issues? My God. It's so sad to me because the person that was saying this to me, he's that person for a lot of other people. A little narcissistic, a little self-glorifying, and a lot of people, what he has to say, it falls on deaf ears for them. But I can look past all that shit. This is my biggest thing I'm telling you. If someone has some good information, just put it on paper and ask if it applies to you and will it help you. If the answer is yes to both, just run with it. Just run with it. You're getting in your own way. If you're allowing yourself to focus on their negative qualities and being like, nope, throwing the, I mean, what's that old phrase from back in the day? My grandma would say this shit to me. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater or some shit, which is kind of fucked up as I'm saying that. It's pretty dark. I want to say she was using that example to me when I was pointing out hypocritical things that Christians would do or say. And she very much wanted me to still be a part of that belief system. So she was like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Makes a lot of sense. If you find yourself discounting something that someone's saying because of the way they look, the way they present themselves, the way they carry themselves, I don't know, I just view that as very low emotional intelligence. Because fuck all the other stuff. Going back to Wes Watson, someone was like, what, you want rented properties and chicks with BBLs? You want that life? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm married and we have a son. I'm not copying the dude's entire persona just because A lot of things he said have changed my life. Doesn't mean I'm now going to become him in every way. Like, that's so insane that someone would even think that or say that. Like, that's not the idea. Learning things from other people, the idea is not that you now go copy them to the last detail. That's fucking crazy. That is insane. This goes back to my facts over feelings video. Just look at the facts. Your emotional spike that you have when you see them driving a certain car or operating a certain way has nothing to do with the message. What's the message? Can it help you? I'm not a Christian per se, but I guarantee you there are some pastors with some sermons that have very good messages that are just generally applicable to all people. It's like, okay, yeah, if I follow what this guy's saying, live in that way, I'll operate better, I'll think better, I'll feel better, I'll be a better person in my community. But because I'm not in that belief system, I'm just going to throw the whole thing away. That's crazy. That's crazy. My invitation to you is to really reflect on this as you're having negative judgments on speakers, authors, even people that are in your day-to-day life, people that you work with, people that you're around. If they have some good shit, if they have some nuggets, some gold tidbits, and you're like, yeah, but I mean, they did this one thing that one time and I didn't like it, so it's not gonna work for me. It's like, you're just being a brat. You're being a weird ass motherfucker. Let's just let's just really call it like it is. You're being a weird ass motherfucker. Do you not want to improve that badly? Are you that averse to some self-improvement? Are you that resistant to some positive change? Now that's a good question. That's an important question. That would be my biggest fear. If I was averse to making positive changes in my life for whatever reason, that would be, well, it'd be very much to my detriment, wouldn't it? And those kinds of things are very much what I'm not interested in. Things that are to my detriment, things that are a backstep, things that are a negative in my life, I very much go out of my way to avoid that shit, to get away from that shit, to not participate with that shit. Things that are to my benefit, things that would be in my best interest, ways of thinking, being, and acting, behaving, eating, that leave me better off than I was, that's that shit I'm incredibly interested in. That's that shit I very much value. So when I come across some information that falls in that category, I don't care what they've done. I don't care about some other weird shit that's going on with them. I don't care how they dress. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab the good and not worry about the bad. That's what you got to do. We all do this. This is how we create our avatar, our perfect life. Because look, everyone's flawed. If you're waiting for the one person that's just perfect across the board and you listen to them, it's going to be quite the waiting game. It's going to be quite the waiting game. So you take the good and then you move on. And then you find another cat. Oh, they have some good information. You take what's good, what's applicable to your life. Don't worry about the negative. I promise you, if you can change your mind, shift your mind to be able to do this, it'll change your life. Let's go.